council meeting. It is unusual because of the COVID-19 virus. Because of the governor's stay-at-home order, all members of the governing body and staff are not in the same room. We're all using an online program called Zoom that allows for us to be in different places and participate as if we were all in the council chambers at City Hall. All of the requirements for the Kansas Open Meeting Act are still in effect during this online meeting. Attorney General Schmidt has provided guidelines to follow for remote meetings. We will make sure all those guidelines are being followed even though we are attending the meeting remotely. The rules for conduct for the public comment portion would be that to meet the Kansas Open Meeting Act requires that the public observe the meeting. It does not require the public to have an opportunity to participate. However, it is our policy that we give the public opportunity to present comments at the council meeting at the appropriate section. Until such time as technology allows verbal interaction during the meeting, we ask that members of the public wishing to address the city council submit all questions or comments in writing a minimum of 24 hours in advance of the city council meeting. And those questions or comments will be read during the public forum. Keep in mind that there are guidelines for participating in the Zoom format. During the meeting, everyone will be muted so that the conversation will not be will not interrupt another person's presentation. On the bottom of your screen is a taskbar with a number of icons to manage the meeting. It appears when you move your mouse there. An iPad will be on the top of your screen. If you have some other device, you will need to experiment to find the taskbar. The participants icon in the middle of the taskbar that you can press and it will show who is present at the meeting. You may want to hover over your name and change it. If your name comes up as iPad Joe, we ask that you change it to your proper name. At the bottom of the participants page is a blue raised hand. By pressing the raised hand, it will appear next to your name at the top of the participants page. The raised hand will indicate you wish to speak. The mayor will recognize you and you will be unmuted. The Attorney General's guidelines require that all participants give their name before speaking. All of us will be doing the same thing. For the record, please state your name and address. When you do speak, we expect good decorum. If, in our opinion, you vary from that, we will mute your microphone and ask that you behave appropriately. If after a warning and we unmute your mic, and if you return to the same behavior, we will mute you again and remove you from the meeting. You will not be allowed in again. We are recording this meeting and a copy will be placed on our website and on Facebook. And when we get to the public comment part of the agenda, we remind everyone that the key principles just stated. Mayor, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, City Clerk. And we will now start the Kechi City Council meeting for April 25th. It is now 3 minutes past 7 o'clock. And I can hear feedback. I'm not sure. There we go. I think I fixed that. I'm going to ask everyone, if you would, to stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America,
and to
the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you, Council. And I'm going to move to Hawaii and enjoy. Okay, so our next item is to approve the consent agenda.
Have we had the roll call?
I am sorry. Thank you, Betty. I would ask that our city clerk do a roll call.
Brian Adams.
Present.
Betty Washington.
Yes.
Margaret McCormick.
Here.
Richard Haddock.
I'm here.
Matt Brewer.
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum. All right, I'm sorry. Okay, now let's move on to the consent agenda. Council, you should have received that a few days ago. And if there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as written.
Betty Washington, I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Brian Adams, a second by Betty. All in favor say, and I need to take this this roll in order in my pen. How does my pen die right at the beginning of the meeting here? Okay. Brian Adams,
Aye.
Matt Brewer,
Aye.
Margaret
McCormick, aye.
McCormick, Richard Haddock,
Aye.
and who am I leaving off here? My pen is dead. I am sorry. Who have I left off?
You
left off Betty
You haven't
Washington.
called Betty Washington yet.
And I left off Betty. Betty, how do you
Aye.
vote?
Aye.
All right, that motion carries 5-0. All right, next item is to approve tonight's agenda. City Administrator, are there any changes or additions?
The only change that we have is there is no executive session scheduled for this evening.
Okay. There are no other changes. I would entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda. This is Matt Brewer.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Matt, a second by Richard. All in favor, say aye. I'm
Aye.
sorry, I guess, again, I have to go back. Brian Adams,
Aye.
Margaret McCormick,
Aye.
Richard Haddock,
Aye.
Matt Brewer,
Aye.
and Betty Washington.
Aye.
Okay, that carries 5-0. We'll move on to communications. City Clerk, is there anyone wishing to address the council this evening via the public forum?
We had no requests for comment.
Okay, we'll close out the public forum. Anyone, next item, Kechi Civic Groups and Committees, anyone wishing to address the council this evening? Seeing none, we will move on. Is there any old business we need to attend to?
There is none.
Okay, we will move on to item 4, new business. Sale of temp note resolution 20-713. And I will turn that over to our city administrator, Mr. Conger.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a bond sale, actually a sale of temp notes today. And I am going to, I'm not sure who to turn this over to first, if I'm going to turn this over to Dustin at Piper Sandler or JT Klaus, our bond counsel. Who wants to go first? I guess Dustin, I'll introduce Dustin Avey with Piper Sandler.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to be here. Hope everybody's doing well. As Bob alluded to, we did have a temp note sale today for the Rock Point Phase 3 improvements. And as you're well aware, it's obviously been a trying month on a number of different levels. So one of them being in the bond market. And fortunately, as you recall, a month ago, we actually delayed the sale of temporary notes for a variety of reasons. One of them being just market conditions in general. That decision turned out to be a good one, considering the result from today's sale. And again, I'm not sure what the new norm is from a bond market perspective, but nonetheless, we have somewhat stabilized here in the last 7 days in the marketplace. And as you had before you, you have a summary of those bids that were received today. The city did receive 3 bids for the sale of the temporary notes, a bid from UMB Bank, a bid from Commerce Bank, and a bid from Central States Capital. The winning bid was from UMB Bank at a 1.79%, if I recall correctly. Again, which exceeded our original estimates. Again, in light of what's transpired in the last month, the officer was concerned about actually receiving bids to begin with. And fortunately, the city did receive 3 bids on those temporary notes, resulting in a successful sale this morning at 10 a.m. Before you have a resolution. I'll let I'm not sure if it's JT or Andrew who's with us this evening walk through what that resolution is. But I'm certainly glad to answer any questions as it relates to the temp note sale itself. Again, we are pleased with the results and would suggest and recommend that the city award those temporary notes to UMB Bank.
The item on the agenda tonight is the resolution, Mr. Mayor, and this is JT Klaus, bond counsel. Today, we took the results of the winning bid and we placed them in the resolution that was provided to the council previous and now is provided to them with all of the interest rates and the purchaser completed. Your city attorney inserted today, based on an assumption that you would want to take the low bid, the acceptance of the low bid and the sale to UMB Bank, as well as the rates that were quoted. And if you wish to proceed, you may simply entertain a motion to adopt the resolution.
Any questions? Not, I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion to accept the resolution. This is Matt Brewer.
I'll second. Brian Adams.
We have a motion by Councilman Brewer, a second by Brian Adams. Any further discussion? Councilman Adams, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Brewer,
Aye.
Councilman Heddick,
Aye.
Councilwoman McCormick,
Aye.
and Councilwoman Washington.
Aye.
That carries 5-0. Thank you. Any other business that we need to take care of at this point? If not, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Betty Washington, second.
Motion by Richard, a second by Betty. Councilman Adams, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Brewer,
Aye.
Councilman Heddick,
Aye.
Councilwoman McCormick,
Aye.
and Councilwoman Betty Washington.
Aye.
Okay, this meeting